Hello everyone, I just thought I'd give you my thoughts on this bike. I've recorded several videos about it that I've not shown because quite frankly I've not been happy about it. Not the bike, I've not been happy about the review. So today I'm going to do it. I'm going to give you my unbridled, unedited, well I might edit it a bit if I get particularly carried away, but my general views on the Vespa. Let's start. I'm going to do a bit of what's known as a sandwich. Bloody indicators. Right, so we'll start with some good. It's reasonably economical. At the moment I'm doing about 75 to the gallon. Sometimes I see 50 something when I accelerate hard. A lot of the time I see 90 something. So yeah, it seems to go really well. Nice and cheap. It's comfy. The seats are comfortable. And it's easy to manoeuvre, and the ride's good. Right, so I'll come on to some more good stuff in a bit, but let's get some of the dirt in it. A lot of people don't like these bikes because they've changed from a key to a keyless operation. It is an acquired taste, that I am not going to deny. I quite like it. I'm growing quite fond of it. Don't ask me to explain to you how it works because I'm not sure I actually know how it works. I'm not actually sure I'm pressing the right buttons at any one time, which may cause problems for some people, but because I generally just do what I wanted to do, it's actually fine for me. But the good thing is, because it's not quite so intuitive as I think it needs to be, it will stop the casual fiddling with it. So I really like, it is a bad thing because it's not intuitive, but for me it is. And a lot of people don't like it. I'm enjoying it. I've said before in my time that I think the Monkey is more comfortable. It's got a slightly plusher ride, and I still think that's to a degree true, but it's not to an extent that causes any real harm.
And of course this is the model which has got trailing link suspension, and if you look carefully down there, that is a anti-dive arm, so you've got a little bit extra resistance to the bike squatting when you brake heavily. Yeah, I'm having great fun riding it. It seems to grip really well in the bends. It handles really benignly. And it's absolute fun. That's all I can say. It's just brilliant fun to ride, especially around the bends around these parts. And as you can see from the speedo, I'm quite comfortably keeping up to the legal limit without any difficulties or hesitation, and that's even with the large screen on the front of the bike, which I'm sure isn't ideal for optimum performance, but it's just better for me.
I just find it nicely responsive. But then I don't get a lot of the whinging about people having about 21-inch wheels. Bike still steers really well. The ones I've ridden with 21-inch fronts. So I think it's about degrees rather than overall is it any good or not, is it a problem? And on the roads that I experience in Wales, I'm having no problems with the small tyres. What I would say is they've got a good girth, and I know that a lot of you want a good girth, and these have got that, so your front feels planted. It really shouldn't, as I say. And the problem with the Vespa is its design is wrong, so fundamentally wrong. you know, and yet I don't know how they do it. They make the thing work surprisingly fantastic. I do have a complaint in that there's a gap underneath the handlebars and above the leg shields, and you can get a bit of precipitation. Oh dear, I'm tired. Start again. And you can get a bit of precipitation, and you can get a bit of wind through there, and some people might not like that. And the other big issue with it, and it is a big issue, is you've got to remember you've got a big bottom on these things. Behind you it's quite wide, whereas normally on a bike your bulk is at the front. It's no worse than riding a bike with panniers, but it's not as bad as riding a bike with panniers. I'm just looking at a paraglider. Yeah, so what do you think about them? Yeah, I like it. It's really cool. The automatic, a lot of people don't like the automatics on bikes, and at very, very low speed, I get it. My big thing is parking on a slope. I would like a handbrake. I know the Piaggio fit them to the MP3, they fit a handbrake. I wish they did it on this, if I'm honest. But it's not a big issue, it doesn't really cause me any real problems, but it is the nearest thing to a big issue. Something that does cause me an issue is because the instrument's so low, and because of the design of the bike, it's quite close to me, it's not natural to see the indicator lights. As per a lot of bikes, they're not particularly bright anyway, and so I'm having a real problem not noticing that the warning lights are on. I mean, I can see now that the warning light for the petrol being low is on. Don't get me wrong, I can see it quite clearly, thank you very much. But generally it's so low down and the speedo is further away slightly, you don't tend to notice it that much. So that is a downside, that is something I am finding. But it's not a deal breaker. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Thank you very much. Now, as I said, it would be a bit of a sandwich. So here we go. Performance. These are urban mobility transport solutions, aren't they? Scooters. Well, this one is just a transport solution. It just does the job well. I think it should come with heated grips as standard. The factory setup is very expensive. It doesn't look like you can easily fit a pair of handlebar muffs on. And because this is the classic version with no frippery, electronic fripperies, you haven't got sat-nav or anything like that on there. But that's nothing you can't sort out. Yeah, there's no engine braking. It's just like having a two-stroke. There's hardly any engine braking. So you have to remember that. There is some engine braking there once you get used to it. But you can't go there thinking, well, yeah, it's going to be great. 4-stroke instead of the old 2 strokes. No, it's got less than you'd be used to. And the first time I rode it, it did catch me out slightly. And it was like, oh yeah, I'd forgotten that. You know, it was quite funny. So yes, it comes as standard with Michelin tyres, and they're really good. Is the bike worth the money? Well, these are quite expensive. I got mine at a particularly preferential rate. Thank you very much, A&D Motorcycles. They do some stonking deals when they can on various bikes that they get hold of. And I did get a good deal on this. And thanks very much, Sally. You did me proud. Oh, that's rather a novelty. Let's just break the law entirely, shall we? It's on a clearway, and they're parking and just blocking the road. Marvellous. Yeah, so they aren't cheap. Are they worth the money? Well, time will tell. One of the advantages with things like the Honda and the Suzuki, they're plastic bodywork as opposed to metal bodywork, and then tubular frames made of a monocoque. Now, we all know that this is Italian and they're prone to rusting. Italian cars, aren't they? We all know that. Stereotypes and all that. So, I did do some additional work on this. So once I got it, put some additional rust proofing on. I did notice there was some on there, but I don't think you can ever put too little. But yeah, it's really good for that. I've put plenty on. And Italian electrics are ubiquitously or stereotypically moaned about, aren't they? We'll see how that goes. So far, I've got no issues to report. Would I buy another one? Yes. Surprisingly so, actually. If they had a 500, which I don't think they will because of the MP3, but if they had a 500, I reckon it would be quite the weapon. It would be, it would take people by surprise. I know this does. You know, they expect it to be flat out at 40 and just for around town. They don't realise it goes comfortably at the national speed limit. Do I think it's worth the premium over, say, a Honda or Suzuki? I think that's entirely down to the person that's buying it. Are you looking for the classic retro style and feel of the bike? And if you do, you can buy some other makes that will mimic that, but they're not the real thing. So if you're a tart like me, I know it's hard to believe, isn't it? If you're a tart like me, really and truly, there's no other real option. Anyhow, back to the subject. I keep wandering off subject. So yeah, lots of bikes about today, aren't there? Yeah. For the money, this is excellent. It is expensive. You can get cheaper scooters, but they are not the real deal. No, they're not perfect. They all have their faults. All bikes have their faults. We all know that. But all in all, I'm chuffed to bits with this. It's given me so much mobility, you wouldn't believe it. My camera is not playing ball. It's because I didn't tighten it up properly. Why is it when you want one, you can't find an Aston Martin? When you don't want the things, they're everywhere. Never mind. See, it's got no anti-brake in it. It just hasn't got as much as you expect. Right, anyway, I'll shut up now. I'll stop watching on. Thanks very much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.
And don't forget, if you like this, like, subscribe and all that malarkey. See you soon. Bye.